want to finish with this, Sherri, if I can. Maybe a little harder, a little deeper, but I want you to talk about a player or players, not by name, but that experience some anxiety, depression, maybe a serious domestic violence issue in their home, or something that was really challenging that you as a coach had to walk through with them.
Gosh, so many players come to mind because unfortunately that's more the norm than the exception. But I think of one particular player who had experienced great loss in her life before she came to play for us. And because of that void, her inability to get what she needed from that situation, everything became like life or death. Every encounter felt like life or death. Every drill felt like life or death. Every shot felt like life or death. And the bigger the stage, the greater that pressure, the greater that pull. And we had to unravel that. And what that meant was, for a while, performance was worse, not better. It was a lot worse. She actually looked like a shell of the player that she ultimately was. And that created all sorts of external criticism of her and us and all of those things. But we knew the healing that had to take place so that when her basketball career was over, she could function the way she needed and wanted to function. And she built that back and played well down the stretch, but didn't go on to have a professional career, that the kind that she had envisioned and dreamed about. But she's so healthy today. And as painful as that was during the time, because I really, there was a part of me, and that I'm embarrassed to say this and ashamed to say this, but I thought I can just leave this alone and she's going to be pretty good and we're going to win a whole bunch more. Or I can open this thing up and she's not going to play very well for a while and our team is going to suffer. And we did. And there were times where I thought, but I know it was the right thing to do. It was a very difficult decision at the time, though. Easy now to look back on and say, yeah, but those are calls you have to make sometimes. And I think that's part of what coaches have to understand, is that it's not always like, okay, I want you to talk to me about what's going on in your life or whatever. And they do. And then they're going to go out and they're going to play great the next day. That's not the way that works. Sometimes, yeah, they need a place to lay it and then they can go play free. But mostly it's a long, arduous road that requires a lot of commitment on your behalf and the player's behalf to sort of unravel those things and put them back together in a way that's healthier.
And so what we talk about, you have to have goals and then pathways and then the why, the willpower to do it. And as a coach, to make a decision like that, you have to go back to your why. And your why is not just winning, it's letting them reach their full potential, your players. And so I think as coaches, the ability to really identify for us why we're doing what we're doing and going back and checking that in our decision making is really key.
And Joe, the hard part about that, and I don't know that anybody who hasn't blown the whistle or roamed the sideline can really understand this. Intellectually, I don't think there are a lot of coaches that don't know that. I mean, intellectually, they could tell you their why. What's hard is living by it every single day with the noise of the world around you. It is so hard. And so coaches need one another. They need a foxhole coach. Shaka Smart is a friend of mine. He has a coach who is his safe place, who is his truth teller, who is this person that can keep him closely connected to his why. And they talk constantly because it doesn't take long to get off of it. And before you know it, you've spun out into left field and it's really, really hard to get back then. So I say that with great compassion for coaches who are trying to do the right thing in the right ways and their why is pure. It's so easy to get pulled out of orbit. And so find yourself a buddy or a little foxhole group, a tribe where you can stay connected to that and hold one another accountable, because you need support every bit as much as your players need your support. And we all have to keep our cup full. And so I think those relationships are incredibly important for coaches to have now more than ever because of the noise of the world.
That's dead on. We need people that are going to tell us the truth. We make mistakes by making decisions where we give ourselves a pass and then another pass, and before long we've spun away from what we really want our
Right.
board to be about. So that's really, really valuable. Thank you for your time. You've become a hero to me, and really thankful for what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate the work that you do. And you're right. I had zero idea that there was any brain science behind my book. But it's good to know that there is, maybe.
It's full of it. It's full of it. And a great read. I hope everyone will read it.